It's Sunday morning in Unclove, a small town in Gujarat, and Father Sudhir is saying Mass.
पिता ने पुत्र ने पवित्र आत्मा के नामे आ पावन विधि ना मंगलाचरण करिए.
The congregation, who have come from surrounding villages, are all Dalits, or people from the untouchable castes. Although untouchability was officially banned in the 1950s, Dalits are still the poorest, most marginalised group in Indian society. Within Hinduism, it's the birthright of the Dalit to be oppressed.
So they are treated like dirt, they are kicked, they are not allowed to drink from the wells which the upper caste use. They are not allowed to enter into certain areas of the villages, forget the temples, but even certain parts of the village. You live on the outskirts of the village, that's your place.
Father Sudhir believes he is on a mission from God to improve the situation for the Dalits. In his compound in Unclove, he runs a boarding school for Dalit children, most of whom he has baptised.
If they were in the village in the family, they would not get placed to proper place to stay, proper food to eat, proper education, and no care to become a better individual.
Cooking for the children in Father Sudhir's church compound is Gomet, a Dalit woman who knows where caste prejudices can lead. A few years ago, she was living with her husband and 2 young children on a small grant of government land, where they were preparing to build their first house.
અને રસપૂત અહીંયા ખળા લાગતા હતા મુલા ઘઉં હોય ને એ અહીંયા લાખો જમીન નીચે તે કહેશે કાંઈ નહીં બાંધવાના ઘર કે તો એ સરકાર કહેશે આ સરકારી જમીન છે ને એની પર તમે ત્યાં મકાન કરો કહેશે તે પછી અહીંયા આમ ખાડા ને એવું ગાળતા હતા ને પાયા ને એવું ખોદવા માંડ્યા ત્યારે એ લોકો આવી અને માર્યા બધાને બંદૂકો ધાર્યા ને એવું બધું લઈ અને માર્યા વચ્ચે મોલ રોટી તો ઘરે જતી રહે બાળકો નાના હતા ને તે બધા રો કરતા હતા બહુ બંદૂકોને એવું ફૂટે ને પછી એ રસપૂત લોકો મારીને આવ્યા ને ત્યાં કહેશે જા તારો તા મારવા શકે મને કહેશે એટલે અમારા ઘરવાળા કહે તારો ઘરવાળાને તા મારવા શકે તે પછી હું જઈ ને ત્યાં તો આ માથું ફોડલા છેલ્લું પગ ભાજીલા છેલ્લો બાયણા
A few days after the attack, the high castes began building their homes on the site. Gomet and her children left the village. She found work with Father Sudhir and later baptised her children in the Christian faith. Gomet is one of a growing number of Dalits who are choosing to abandon Hinduism, the religion of their ancestors, in favour of something new. By escaping Hinduism, converts hope to escape oppression. So many thousands of Dalits are changing their religion that it's being described as a conversion movement. But in a country and a global climate where religion and politics are increasingly hard to separate, the act of conversion has become politically charged. The state of Gujarat is ruled by the Bharatiya Janata Party, or BJP, a fundamentalist Hindu party that is violently opposed to missionary activity. Dr. Praveen Togadia is the International General Secretary of the BJP's cultural arm, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, or VHP.
We are deadly against conversion of any type. If I will change my religion, that is a different thing. But if you will target me, they are targeting, they are harvesting, they are planning, they are preparing. It is nothing but religious terrorism here in the world.
Dr. Togadia fears that the richness of Indian culture is threatened by the incursion of foreign religions.
They enhance Monoculture, by destroying the rest of the belief system, they have destroyed all belief system of Europe in first millennium. Second millennium, they have destroyed belief system of Africa. In third millennium, Pope himself came and declared that I will convert Asia and India. It means that they want to destroy pluralistic belief system of Bharat.
When it comes to respecting different belief systems, however, the record of the BJP government in Gujarat is stained with religious violence. It was re-elected last year in the wake of massive communal riots, which were started when a Muslim mob torched a train carrying Hindu worshippers, killing 58. The ensuing violence killed hundreds, injured thousands more, and split the community down Hindu and Muslim lines. The BJP government was condemned for at best doing little to stop the violence, at worst being complicit in it. At the headquarters of the BJP's cultural wing, the VHP, looked down upon by photos of Hindus killed in the riots, officials congregate to discuss policy and to worship. The VHP has devised the boldest strike so far in the battle for the souls of the Dalits. It's behind a bill that attempts to stamp out religious conversion. Passed in March this year, the paradoxically named Religious Freedom Act restricts the activities of missionaries and requires would-be converts to obtain permission from a magistrate. A challenge from a Christian group has delayed the bill's enactment, but it's expected to become law within months. Similar bills are in various stages of passage in 4 other states. The VHP claims the Act will protect the free will of the underclasses, arguing that their ignorance and poverty are exploited by missionaries. Dr. Togadia is the principal author of the controversial Act. Isn't the act of conversion an exercise of free will?
No. If you are targeting me, where there is a free will? If they want to convert, why they are not converting Dr. Togadia, who is a cancer surgeon? Why they are converting poor, downtrodden, illiterate? Bill is targeted against individual and organization who want to convert by force, fraud and allurement, who don't believe in validity of religion, who want to destroy pluralistic tradition and want to impose monoculture with the force, fraud and allurement.
We are just approaching a road sign, a board put up by this Hindu fundamentalist organization, which says that this is a Hindu kingdom, it's a Hindu state. And
Father Cedric Prakash is a human rights activist who's been campaigning for religious tolerance in Gujarat for decades. He believes that the BJP's great skill is its ability to play the race, religion and caste cards.
The government is maintaining its popularity by creating bogies. They create a bogie that the whole of Gujarat will become Muslim. All Muslims are terrorists. They create a bogie by saying that the whole of Gujarat might become Christian. In fact, the Christian population of Gujarat is less than 0.5%.
It is not a question of a number of the Christian. It is a question of a concept. It is not a number of a AIDS virus. AIDS virus single is sufficient to kill a human being. So conversion is a cultural AIDS which will destroy pluralism.
Batasi is a small Dalit village in Father Sudhir's parish. He visits about once a month to hear the people's problems and help them where he can. But in the current political climate, Father Sudhir is very careful not to place too much emphasis on the importance of conversion. After all, in the likely event that the bill is enacted, much of what he does could become illegal.
My work here is not only conversion. My work here is to take care of my people, take care of my flock in terms of spiritual field, in terms of educational field, in terms of many other things. Conversion is just a part of something that happens. if somebody feels that they are touched by the help that they have received from me, because we help people just because they are poor.
The number of Christians in Batasi is slowly rising, and this Mass, in a converted Hindu temple, is well attended. Do you give political education and information to the people that you're working with?
We make people aware of what is happening. We make people aware of what are the political parties doing and what is the intention. We make people aware of how they are being cheated. We make people aware how their rights are being taken away. We make people aware of their basic human rights. This is something that certain people are not happy with.
That brings you in conflict with the government?
Very true. And that is why they want to eliminate us as much as possible. They want to trouble us in the villages. They want to close down in our institutions because educating the uneducated is a threat to them.
The Dalits in Batasi are very receptive to conversion and not just to Christianity. A week before I visited, Batasi made headlines when 25 Dalits announced their conversion to Buddhism in the press. They were angry about the murder of a local Dalit youth by high caste Hindus. Their conversion was clearly a political statement.
ये जो गवर्नमेंट है, यहाँ के जो अधिकारी है, मुख्यमंत्री है, समझो राज्यपाल है, तो उसकी पॉलिटिक्स क्या है? दलित को दलित ही रखना है. वो नौकर है, उसको कभी सेठ नहीं बनना देना है. वो सेठ बन गया तो वो नौकर बन जाएगा. ये प्रॉब्लम है.
Chatur Bai is one of these Buddhist converts.
तो हमको उसके मंदिर में जाना ही नहीं, उसकी पाठशाला पढ़नी ही नहीं, उसकी किताब पढ़नी ही नहीं, उसके साथ कोई कांटेक्ट रखना ही नहीं. इसीलिए हम धर्मांतर कर रहे हैं. यहाँ समझो अभी यहाँ तो कुछ लोग ख्रिस्ती है, कुछ लोग अभी अभी बौद्ध बने हैं, जिसमें मेरा भी समावेश होता है. तो हमको क्या है कि यही करना है कि हमको उसके साथ नहीं रहना है.
हमने ये धर्म एक्सेप्ट किया है. मैं भी मेथोडिस्ट हूँ, क्रिश्चियन हूँ. क्यों एक्सेप्ट किया? हमने सोचा है कि ये क्रिश्चियनिटी है ना कि ह्यूमन बींग्स मानो कि हमने एक्सेप्ट क्यों किया कि इसमें मानव का पूरा कल्याण होता है.
हमको हमारा अलग धर्म चाहिए, हमको हमारा अलग पर्सनालिटी चाहिए. ऐसा लगता है वो क्या है कि वो लोग मानव समझ रहे हमें, और ये हिंदू लोग जो है हमें मानव ही नहीं समझते, समझो जानवर है.
Hinduism believe that each and every individual himself is a manifestation of a God. So for me, every Hindu is a God, every Christian is a God, every Muslim is a God, and if every Hindu is a God, every Dalit is a God for me.
More importantly, perhaps, every Dalit has a vote. Dalits form 16% of the Indian electorate, and as such it is almost impossible for a government to gain power in India without Dalit support. Departing each day from VHP headquarters is this mobile chariot. Tonight, it's visiting a Dalit area in Gujarat's largest city, Ahmedabad.
Jai Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Jai Jai Sri Ram! Jai Jai Sri Ram! Jai Jai Sri Ram! Jai Jai Sri Ram!
दरेक बाळको गौ शांति दी जय श्री राम बोल से गौ शांति दी जय श्री राम बोल से बीजा बांधे वगैरह ने हो देसे.
This is part of a campaign to build a temple in the town of Ayodhya, on the site of a famous mosque torn down by Hindu fundamentalists.
जय जय श्री राम!
VHP officials are spending the entire month driving around the city to tie a sutra to the wrists of the Hindu faithful. The saffron cotton denotes the wearer's lifelong commitment to Hinduism. By promoting this brand of religious patriotism, The VHP hopes to consolidate its Hindu following in Dalit communities and subsequently secure their votes.
25 કરોડ લોકોને આ સંકલ્પ સૂત્ર બાંધી અને હિન્દુ સમાજને આરોગ્યના રક્ષણ, ત્રાસવાદી આતંકવાદીનું રક્ષણ અને ભવ્ય આપણી ભારત પેઢીનું સંસ્કૃતિનું રક્ષણ આ કરવા માટેના સંકલ્પ સૂત્ર છે. આ સંકલ્પ સૂત્ર કોઈ એક ધાગો કે તાતણું નથી. રામ ભગવાનની આસ્થા માટેનું આ સંકલ્પ સૂત્ર છે, શ્રદ્ધાનો વિષય છે.
See, I suppose one has to understand that the ideology of these Hindu fundamentalists is very fascist. You single out people, you demonize them, you attack them, you tell them that they are not patriotic, you tell them they do not belong to this country, you tell them that whatever they are doing is anti-national, you brand them as terrorists. This is exactly a kind of a feeling that was created by Hitler and his cronies in the times of Nazism.
Why do you think there is so much religious violence in Gujarat at the moment?
Because church is converting. Conversion is a violence. There is some physical violence, some spiritual violence, some intellectual violence. Conversion start with the intellectual violence, lead to physical violence. If they stop conversion, there will not be violence at all.
Back in Batasi, I visit the family whose son's murder was the catalyst for the headline-making mass conversion to Buddhism. For the Vankas, violence and conversion are directly linked. On the floor of their one-room mud hut, they tell of the day when Raman was murdered.
के दिन मेरे भैया खेत में गए थे, वो घास भैंस के लिए घास चारा लेने के लिए. वहाँ से वापस आए वो भारा लेने के बाद वो सिर पे भार लगा तो उन्होंने वो सारे गांव का भातीजी मंदिर है, सार्वजनिक भातीजी मंदिर है, वहाँ से उन्होंने पोताना पोटका नीचे उतारा और वो 4 लोग दरबार थे और मेरा भैया दलित था. वो चारों की बाजू में बैठे तो उन लोगों ने मेरे भैया को लात मारकर नीचे फेंक दिया और बोला कि यहाँ हमारे साथ क्यों बैठा है, तू दलित है, ढेड़ है, और भाई बहन माँ की गालियाँ सुनाई. तो वो सारे लोग इकट्ठे हो गए, धमाचकड़ी हो गए. तो मैंने देखा कि ये क्या हमला हो रहा है. तो फिर बाहर आकर देखा तो मेरा भैया को खींच के बाहर लेके जा रहे थे. मेरे भैया का 25 दिन अभी हुआ मरने के बाद फिर जैसा चिट्ठी मुझे मारने की आई, मर्डर करने के लिए, कि तेरा भैया को मैंने मार दिया, ऐसी तरह अब तेरी हालत है, तुझे भी मार डालेंगे हम. 5 ही सेकंड है तुझे मारने के लिए, मुझे मारने के लिए 5 ही सेकंड मुझे चाहिए, ज़्यादा नहीं.
The family have been ostracised by most of the villagers, who are afraid of being associated with them. They now have a 24-hour police guard posted outside their hut. Of greater concern, they've lost their main breadwinner.
Will my son be back? Will my son will be back?
અને અમે તો સરકારને હવે એક જ પ્રશ્ન કરી દીધો છે કે એક બોમ્બ મારી અને અમને સાફ કર દો.
The Vanka family believed that Raman's death and their subsequent difficulties would not have occurred had they not been Hindu.
हमें हिंदू है लेकिन आज हिंदू नहीं रहे हैं. हमने बौद्ध अंगीकार कर दिया है. जो हिंदू होते हुए न्याय नहीं मिले. सारे लोग यहाँ राजकारण भी इकट्ठे हो गए, पूरे राजपूत इकट्ठे हो गए हैं. हमारे साथ किसी का व्यवहार नहीं है. हमने जो न्याय मिलने वाले हैं न्याय नहीं मिल सकता. इसलिए हमें वो हिंदू धर्म है इनका बदल दिया और बौद्ध धर्म अंगीकार कर दिया है हमें.
In practical terms, the Vankas have very few options. Their religion is one of the few things in their lives that they are able to change. And while millions of Dalits continue to live at the bottom of the Hindu social ladder, with such poverty and violence, it is unlikely that any sort of government legislation will halt the conversion movement.